happened?
I was sitting in one of the smaller narra in the living room in Bulacan. I faced a brown casket adorned with both like plated cherubs and swirl-like thick carving vines. At least 5 candles are placed in front of the casket and scorched the white kalachuchi in the funeral wreaths, prompting the flowers to shed more of their rich aroma before wilting. It was a funeral of my half-brother Lim. I was surprised, for I had not heard anyone approaching. I looked up slowly. She's long, slim, smooth legs admired by swollen veins, a long dress and white blouse with its sleeves too long for the wearer, and a pale face that seemed like it had not experienced sleep in days. But she looked pretty. She had Indian blood with her sharp nose and deep-set eyes thickly bordered by long lashes, just like Mom. Yes. All my muscles tensed upon hearing her name. It took up my self-control to outwardly remain calm and simply raise an eyebrow. My reaction caused a range of emotion to cross the woman's face before it finally crumbled and gave way to tears. Suddenly, she grabbed my hand and she knelt in front of me, asking for forgiveness.
I'm really sorry. If only I had known, I could have stopped.
No, you know, and you couldn't stop. Because it's part of the Troida family, right? Do you know how I feel to have a broken family? Do you know how I feel when the pain inside me is killing me every day? Do you know that?
I could have said this word to her, but I remained silent, keeping everything to myself. Again, maybe I'm just like a priest. I keep a confession of our sins of myself and act like I understand how she feels and comfort her, that she would be forgiven. But I wasn't a priest. I want to let her know in pain inside my chest I had barely managed so that I wouldn't freak and fall down. When her weeping had subsided, she raised her head and looked at me.
Everyone makes mistakes, Lizo.
It was a line straight out of a Filipino soap opera. I had a feeling that the whole situation was a scene from a very bad melodrama I was watching. I wanted Sylvia to free my hand, so I nodded and pretended to understand. Apparently convinced, she let go, and to my shock, suddenly hugged me tight. My nose wrinkled as the pungent mix of the heavy perfume and sweet assailed me. I wanted to scream at her to let go, but I did not move away. The moral lesson I had learned through reading the story is that, regardless of the circumstances that could surround us, we should always remain responsible for ourselves, because the problem is not the problem itself, but sometimes our attitudes toward the problems. The problem is always there, but we can force the problems to stop. On the other hand, we all know that all of us make mistakes, because no one is perfect. The story teaches our readers about the importance of having a strong organization of the family, respecting, being strong, loving each other, apologizing, and forgiving are meaningful. People are prone to mistake in life. Some are light faults, but oftentimes critical faults. If you know you made a mistake, try to accept your errors and ask for forgiveness. I believe that forgiving is not easy to give to someone who hurt you, but forgiveness depends on how sin or mistake was done. The story Sinigang left a big and positive impact to me. Aside from moral values I learned, the author's style of writing also made an impact to me as a reader. I will always remember all the moral values of the story as I move towards my future. The story helps me grow and become a better person I can be.
That is the story of Sinigang, and for my moral values, it reflected to me that a great mistakes can be forgiven, but it won't make the relationship be the same. By the time that the father had an affair, it is very hurtful to the part of his own family, especially for his own daughter, because Liza is a daddy's girl. Looking for her own desire and satisfaction is not bad, but it will depend on how we will gonna achieve it. And for me, the way of the father looking for it is really bad, for the eye of the God and for his family. There was a saying that is ordinary in our Filipino culture for husbands to commit adultery and look for another woman who can satisfy their desires simply because they are men and not saints. And I am not in favor of it, because being faithful and contented to our own wife and family is fulfilling our promises into the eye of our God when the time you take your blessing in Him from the church. Maybe mans are not saints, but they are wonderfully made by God to listen and follow His words, because it is the right thing to do. From the reflection that I got on this story, I will apply to myself my insights and thoughts on the right thing that's supposed to be done. Me as a person, I always forgive people as long as I can see a change, but my relationship with them will not be the same. When in terms of romance relationship, when the time comes and I have my own family, I will apply to myself the personality of being faithful and contented.